demonstrate using JNI. Probably next session I'll show you VB. So whatever convenient to you, you may proceed with it. No issues. Okay. On Windows, basically VB and VC options are there, but JNI will, because of Java, you can use it on any platform. And if we create SO files, it will be useful for Linux files and Linux systems only. Okay. So I hope problem statement is known to you now. Yesterday I had shown. So I'll move towards the main steps now. So there are 4 basic steps. First, you have to write a Java file that will test our application. Then we will write a C file, and then we will be able to generate executable from both. And then means executable of class file of Java, and from C file we will generate a header file, DLL file, and then we will execute the final Java application. So I have actually my team installed on Windows, so I'm not able to show it on your Linux simultaneously, but I have done it on Linux and I have recorded all the steps. So when I share this PPT, you will be able to understand easily. So whenever you get this PPT on in your Teams box today, the slide number 26 onwards you have to follow. Forget about the previous slides. 26 onwards you have to follow. Take a note of that. So this flowchart I had explained. Now we will follow this. So very first step is, as I had said, you have to write a Java file. You may write it in Eclipse and then compile it from terminal. So this is the only assignment which you have to run from terminal. Rest all you can directly run from your IDE Eclipse. Okay. Here we are using terminal because a lot of class path settings required, and for a small assignment, why to change all the environment variable? That's why I'm showing linking on a terminal only. Okay. So first of all, we will write a file for Java. So I'm going to write it in front of you, but similar thing is available in presentation also. I hope my font is readable. I'll try to increase a bit more so that you can read it easily. Now very first step is you have to save your file. I'm writing it in Notepad. On Linux system you may write it in gedit or Kate, any of the editor. Okay, and give a program name. So suppose we are going to implement calculator using JNI, so I'm giving cal_JNI. You may give anything. Okay, extension will be .java file. Then save it, and after that you have to start writing your code. So I have to import java.io.star. Input output related classes I am going to import using this line. Okay, yesterday I had shown or demonstrated writing simple Java program in Eclipse, and now I am showing it in Notepad. Whatever convenient to you, use it. Then your class, my class name should be similar to program name. So cal_JNI is my program name. So same I have given here. Class is a keyword. By default you have to write it. Okay. That main method where we are going to write rest of the code. So public static. I had explained why we are writing all this stuff. So just recall it from yesterday's session. Okay. Whenever you are writing code, you should make it readable. So proper indentation and all will help you to make it readable. Public static void means spelling mistakes. You have to take care of it. As well, here my string is a data type and S is capital. So Java is a case sensitive language. Wherever I am using uppercase letter in data types and basic inbuilt functions, you have to follow that. And then as we are going to write calculator, so around 8 to 10 operations, mathematical operations you have to add. So basic arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, few trigonometric, few logarithmic. You may write your own factorial function. So you have to add maximum 10. Okay, you may add more than that, but You may go for 8 to 10, that's enough for assessment. I'll show one and then you will add rest of the things. So very first we have to do, let's say, addition of two numbers, and it will be a menu driven program, so gradually you may update in future. So here we have to write method which we are going to fetch from library right now. Okay, so my method name is add, which will take, let's say, two parameter. Right now I'm giving dummy arguments. Get a problem, it will give error, declaration of add or symbol add is not found, because we are not going to write its definition here. Its definition will be in our library. I'm just giving call to my that method, so I can write comment here, call to method, your reference. Okay, so I have to inform my Java compiler that any such a method will be available somewhere in a library. So for that reason, now you are going to access from outside world, so that method should be public. So add method will be public, and we have to call it from C program. So native language is different, so I'm going to add a word native, public native. It is going to return integer value, and the method name is add. It will take two arguments. So whatever I have highlighted right now, it is called as prototype. Prototype means something called as add, which will take two arguments and return integer value. But where it is available, it is a native method. Native means it is written in C or C++ language and available at some other place. So you are going to link it with that at the time of linking. Then public means you are going to access it from outside entity, so you have to make it public. After that, you to call this method add, you have to create an object of your current class. So current class name is cal underscore. I'm so sorry, I guess spelling small case है, आपको देखना पड़ेगा. Whatever you have given as a program name, same cases you have to use here. So cal underscore jni, and it is an object, so I'm giving object obj new jni. So this is creation of your class. Now you can use that object to give a call to add method. So when you run this Java application, object will be created. It will be a call to add method. But at the time of compilation, you won't face any error because we have added this prototype, and it is going to clarify where the add will be found in future. Okay. When you execute, it is going to give a error, because जब भी आप execute करोगे, you have to link your Java class with a link library which is available at some place, some other place, and that linking information you have to provide. So if you have any queries, you just put it up. I'm going to perform first step right now, writing a Java application. In future, we are going to read this number from user. We will add more than one methods and we will make it menu driven. So that is there. After that, as I said, you have to add linking information. So linking means one time linking will be there. So for that reason, you can create a static block. Static block means within that, whatever you are writing, that will be executed once. You need to do it again and again. So linking library will be one-time job. Why to link it again and again? So that's why I'm going to put it in my static block. Okay. So you can run this program or these methods you can call one by one n number of times, but linking will be done only one time. So static block का meaning है. Now please pay attention. Difference between static word added with a method and the static block. Both are different. So here static linking is done one time. So for that purpose, you have to call system.out dot load. Here you will be passing your library name. So जो आप फ्यूचर में क्रिएट करने वाले, your library is not yet ready. You are going to create in next 10 to 15 minutes. So system dot load library. So you have to be careful while writing this. And then here you are going to pass a name of your library. So suppose my library name is, let's say, cal. So I'm giving that a name. Calculator का short form दिया है मैंने cal. So this much is enough. First of all, you have to test linking with your library with one of the method, let's say add. If it is working fine, then you just have to copy paste edit rest of the operations. The other difficulty number is using. I'm going to tell you with the one example. So once your Java program is ready, you have to compile it and check if there any error exists in it or not. Right now I'm on Windows, but I can compile this code. It should not give any error. Any error is there, I have to resolve. Check it is not available in my pattern. I just have to check where my file is. I'm just moving it from desktop, or otherwise I have to go there and change the path on command prompt. And one is okay. Here also I don't have any permission, so I'm going to keep it. Some problem in solution, I have to do it again. So I have copied it here, and now from command prompt. So see, there is no error because I have added. If you wanna see what kind of errors are there, I can edit my file. I'll purposefully add the errors just for your understanding. So possible error is if I remove this prototype, I'm just commenting it right now. So definitely there should be error for this add method, undefined reference. So let's see what, and see, cannot find symbol. Add method उसको नहीं मिल रहा है because there is no definition found for that in that class. And to resolve that error, I have added this line. So you should know what possible error is, and if you miss this line, you have to add it. So public native method means it is found somewhere in future. So compiler will not bother. It will think that at the time of execution, library will be available and you may proceed. If I remove this block right now, you won't get any error because it will generate error at the time of execution. See, there is no error because job of this block will be at the time of execution. and that time you will face a problem if this portion is not added. The link library not found kind of error you will receive. So if any one of you is having trouble in this, let me know. Up to this कुछ समझ में आया? System is a class where you find load library method, which will load a library which you have specified as an argument, that is cal, and it will link it with your main application and you will proceed with execution. So just go through these 4-5 lines and let me know if you have any queries quickly. I hope all are connected. No queries? Okay. Now, as I said, you have to read the numbers from user. So in Java, like printf scanf, it's not easy. You have to use buffers. So I'll show you that. You have to use scanner class. Then you have an option of buffered reader class. But I feel scanner is more useful. So I'll go with it. So for that purpose, you have to create an object of scanner class. And I'm going to read input. So my scanner class object name is input. Then you have to initialize it, scanner. It will throw error because you have to specify from where you are going to read the input. So you have to specify the path of standard input device. So system.in. In means standard input device. So that happen and it will be able to read from your keyboard. And then after you have to proceed. But when you are going to read data from user or using buffers, it throws exceptions. So you have to handle exceptions. So what are the ways to handle exception in object-oriented programming? You may have learned in CPP. Can you tell me how to handle exceptions?
By using try-catch flow.
Exactly. You may put the code in try-catch block. So same thing is applicable here. You can put the code which going to throw a exception in a try and catch block, or you can use throws. Okay, you can use throws exceptions. That is also fine with this. So this method, main method, is going to throw exception in, and here we are going to see IO exception. I'm writing that IO exception. Likewise, you may proceed or try catch block में डालना है तो you just put this entire stuff in a try catch. So right here try, and wherever you will end closing statement for catch. Catch you have to specify IO. You can throw a message system.out.println IO exception occur or any corrective measures you can apply here. So both the ways are okay. Try chalega and throws bhi chalega. This is a small application, so I would suggest to go with throws. And in next assignment, you can use try catch. So both will be practiced properly. You have created an object. Now you have to read the data using that input variable or input object. Okay. So input dot read next. You can use sorry, it's not with this, it's with buffer reader. Here you can use read line method or next line method is there. I'm using scanner and buffer reader, so be a little bit confusion. So with buffer reader we have read line and here we have next line method. So you can use here next line. L is capital, and purposefully writing it up. But by default your next line method returns string type of object. But आपके तो numbers है, right? You can add here guided message. Just to guide the end user. Enter value of A and B. सेपरेट मैसेज भी डाल सकते हो, इट्स अप टू यू. Line is giving is a string. You have to convert it in a integer. So string number I am taking, where now purposefully I am showing two-step journey, but we can merge it in single line, that I'll show you later. So I repeat, scanner is a class which will create a buffer, and using that you will be able to read the data. Like your CPP, you cannot use like printf, scanf method or C in C out directly. Here we have to take the help of different buffers or scanner objects. So it helps you to scan input from the input device. Input dot next line, input हमारा object है class का, and next line is a method within that class. It reads the data in a string format. So I am fetching it and storing it in a number whose type is string. And now convert it in integer. So my integer variable A will get the value from that. So integer dot parse int. Integer is again a class which will have parseInt method, which will convert your string into integer directly. So string आपने number variable में store किया है. So these two lines you can directly merge. Instead of writing these two stuff, you instead of creating this intermediate variable, मैंने आपको purposefully two-step journey दिखाया, but you can directly store it in single variable just by little bit changes. So जो भी आप input dot read line से fetch करो, directly pass it to your parseInt method, and your job is done. So return में आपको string catch करके value को convert नहीं करना पड़ेगा, it directly gives you integer value. Same way you can read value of B, but I'll just cross check whether I'm going right or wrong. And yes, I have an error. Can anyone help me to fix this error purposefully? Let me see how many of you understand the error. It's a syntax error.
Double quote missing.
Yes. The line, now here you may read line number 12. See here, your class name is given, and then 12. 12 is a line number where error exists. So if you count, definitely here line number 12 will be there. My notepad is showing, bottom line of notepad is showing I am on line number 12, and I have closed my quotes, and further errors are popping out. So scanner is not found. So reference for scanner we have to give. Scanner class is not found. So for that purpose you have to import a package. I have added IO package, but scanner is available in java.util package. Once you add this line, import java.util.star, compile it again and check errors are removed. Okay. So jitne errors aayenge, and if you try to tackle at your level, it will be a great help to yourself. You will understand it in a more detail. And now we are ready. Up to this, no more errors. So just read the value of B also. If you want to read them separately, just copy this pair. More guided messages. So here you can ask for value of variable A, and here you simply change the variable name. And for the add method, I am going to pass it. What is the difference in previous case and current case? Initially we were sending default values 10, 5. If I execute this program 100 times, I will get only the result as a 15. 10 plus 5, 15, right? But now whatever changes we did, I'm able to read the value of numbers from the user. So next time if user wanna add 1000 and 250 or lakhs of जो भी integer range का data 32K के बीच में जो भी data, so that numbers will be added and you will get the results. So you have got the flexibility here. You can read the value of A and B. So any value it will work. That's the flexibility. Okay. Right now I'll keep it up to this bit simple. I'll tell you how to modify it gradually when you add subtraction, multiplication, division. It's not a difficult stuff. Okay. So right now what we did, we have just written a Java program where we are reading two numbers from the user and taking addition of them. But addition will be done by a method which is written in our library. जो अभी है ही नहीं, right? So we have to start writing that library. Now here we are going to write our library in C. So as it is a C program will not be useful over here. So I'll just take you on my slide. So first step is over. You notice test JNI की जगह हमने cal JNI लिखा है and little bit similar stuff we have written over there. Now there is little bit modification. Instead of creating object here in this slide, direct object class name से यूज करके कॉल किया है, but both the methods are okay. Okay, so जो भी आपको convenient लगे go with it. Now our class file is ready. Once your class file is ready, what you have to do on terminal, you have to type java h minus jni test jni. Now here I won't be able to do that. Reason is I recently installed Eclipse and it is not having JDK version, so that's why Java H is not found. But आपके when you use Fedora, this Java H minus JNI is going to work definitely because it is working in my Fedora version properly. And here you have to give the name of your class. So Java H space minus JNI space your class name and your header file cal underscore jni.h will be created. Right now it is giving error because Java H is not found. And 10 minutes before I got that such error is there. We can fix it. I just have to set the path and I have to install JDK version, then I'll get the Java H. But if it is installed properly, JDK installed properly on your machine, you won't get such an error. For Ubuntu user, if Java H is not working, I have given another solution. So Java C compilation only with minus h cal.jni. This is also going to create you header file. So both the methods are correct. Which is working for your system, you have to use. Okay. So for Fedora 20, this works, no issues. On Ubuntu, it works, no issues. So आपके पास जो भी है accordingly use it. So this line means if you follow my PPT, open the notepad and write this stuff and compile Java code के नीचे आपको command दिए. Open the terminal and write this line, you will be able to execute. Once you got the class file, on terminal you write this line, you will get the header file. So आपका जो भी program name है .h file will be created. So what is the use of this header file? It helps you to write the syntax for your C file, which is understood by Java native interface. As it is आपका C program नहीं समझ में आता है. It has to be written in a way of JNI. So that help we are getting from that header file. We don't have right now, but I'll show you in next 2 slides. From that header file, you can copy the code that is a template and write it in your C file, and then you will be able to edit. So I'll show you what I want to tell you. So suppose you have written this jni cal underscore jni.java जो मैंने अभी दिखाया है, same way से हम यहाँ पे आपको side में मिल रहा है. This was the first step we did. Then I have added a error. There was an error. So how to fix that error? By adding that native line, private native integer. So step by step guide दिया है आपको. You can follow the statement here onwards. So see here, my public native method line is not there. That's why error popped out. Fixed it with prototype of add method. ये आपको मैंने पहले ही बता दिया, right? After that, you can create the object that you know very well now. This is a line where you have created a header file. So what will be your header file? That is here. So wherever your path is there, pwd command type करोगे terminal पे, you will get the path of your home folder where your header file will be generated. So if you open that, here you can see you have created cal underscore jni.h file. So if you start counting from top the workspace a dot out, so 336 7 number का file है आपका cal_jni.h. So if you open that file, you will get such a stuff in it. It is a template. Okay, so what we have to do, we are going to write C file in the same format. You have to include jni.h, then directly write the select this line. I don't know you are able to see my cursor or not, but if you notice something written in black color on your slide, jni export space jint jni call rest of the line. So only these two lines you have to copy. Hash include jni.h and then that black color line. In this file only these two lines are there in black color. So pick it and copy it in your C file. So open one blank file, save it with .c, let's say cal.c, and you will copy these two lines there. So आपको ये मगअप करने की जरूरत नहीं. Please pay attention here. From Java program, you are generating a header file. From that header file, you are getting this stuff ready to use. Mug-up करने की जरूरत नहीं. Just editing is required. So copy the two lines, and here we are going to dump the code for add method. Now, if you have noticed, in our Java program, we are giving method name as add. But if you observe, the add method is not written as it is. See, add method is coming with two parameters. So now pay attention at the line I'm going to dictate or tell you step by step. JNI export is a keyword that tells current method is exported by JNI Java Native Interface. Okay. उसके बाद space है, then you have jint. So your Java method add is returning integer, right? So integer यहाँ पे jint बन गया. Java Native Interface के लिए आपको integer jint की तरह लिखना है. That is a return type of your method. Then JNI call. So this method is called via Java Native Interface. That is JNI call. And then after space, you have a name of your method. Java underscore cal underscore JNI underscore add. So आपको पता है आपके method का name सिर्फ add है. But the rest of the thing are guiding where the add method is. So class name is there. Add के पहले आपको मिल रहा है class name Java underscore JNI. Now you may say why one JNI is there. So it is a difference. आपके machine पे cal underscore JNI भी आ सकता है, cal underscore one JNI भी आ सकता है. It's totally depend on your machine. So whenever you generate header file, you will get the idea कि exactly क्या आने वाला. Okay. So most of the machine it write the class name as it is, and then in Java. So Java will have a class name followed by add method. So complete guided path is given. Then if you put attention at parameter list, we are passing only two integers. Okay. But additional two variables are added here. Java JNI environment, Java Native Interface environment object, and JNI environment JNI object. So these two parameters are added by JNI interface for its internal reference. We are not going to use that, but we have to keep it there. So जब भी आपका communication दो अलग-अलग program में हो रहा है, two programs written in two different languages, this stuff is required. The environment where you are exchanging the data and the object through which you are exchanging the data. Okay. And then just last job is remaining. You have to add the name of your parameters and then write the line. So whatever I have highlighted here, that square box is a mistake. So यहाँ पे आपको class name as it is मिल सकता है या फिर one will be added. It's totally depend on the machine. I have not yet got the significance of it. I'm trying to find it out. But I have tested in our lab in last year, or whenever I have visited a lab last time. So for that machine, it was coming like this. And for my laptop, it is coming cal underscore JNI. So both are okay. We are not going to do any mug up things. We are just going to copy it from header file. Okay. And then if you have noticed, I have added some parameters. So environment name is added as E. It's a pointer. Reference, sorry, no pointers in Java, so it is a reference. Then J object obj. But आप जब C में लिखोगे तो pointer ही रहेगा. Then J int A and J int B. and the statement I just have to return a plus b. So return a plus b is enough. Now आप बोलोगे मैम सिर्फ एडिशन लेना है, why we are doing so much things, right? This is just for learning purpose, but when you write the project you may have to add difficult task in a library, and that you can fetch via one of the application. So I'm just showing a small examples to you. Once this is ready, you just have to compile C file. Once your C file is ready, it will help you to generate header, link libraries, and then your Java application can be executed easily. So can anyone tell how to compile C file on Linux system, Fedora or Ubuntu? What we use on terminal? C file कैसे compile करते हो? Tell me quickly how you will execute C program on Linux.
Using make.
Using make. Okay. I want direct command. अगर make नहीं use करना. Have you heard about GCC, G++?
GCC.
So GCC is your C compiler and G++ is CPP compiler for your Linux systems. So for that, on terminal you can use GCC. So you can observe your current slide. GCC program name.c. cal.c मैंने लिखा है. And if you notice your C file, I have added header file jni.h. But jni.h is not a header file coming with your C compiler. It is a Java native interface related header file. So it is coming with JDK. So definitely आपके C compiler को कैसे मिलेगा? It will not find, right? So you have to guide it where to get jni.h. So now again here, for every machine where you have installed JDK, that I won't be able to predict. So I can tell you the method by which you will find the location of this file on your system. हर एक के machine में different हो सकता है file. So for that purpose you have to use locate command. So locate space jni.h. It will give you the path. So here its path is /usr lib jvm java jdk version जो भी installed है /include/jni.h. So this is the path on my machine or in our college machine. आपके machine पर different हो सकता है. Even आपका JDK version different हुआ तो आपका path name में JDK version number भी change होगा. So that is the reason I am not telling fix यही आएगा. You have to use locate command on your system followed by the name of header file. So locate jni.h. और definitely आपके JDK include में ही मिलता है. But आपका JDK कहाँ पे installed है? That path you have to find out. So locate command will do that job. So copy this path and add it in with GCC command. So next step is यहाँ से आपने उसको copy किया and now you have to add with GCC. So now here if you observe line number, so पहला आपका GCC cal.c ने error दिया jni not found, फिर हमने locate command use किया. I got the path of jni.h, pick it up and then मैंने GCC के साथ उसको merge किया. So GCC space minus capital I. Minus I is the option of GCC. I am passing information of where the jni.h is. So you don't have to use file name, सिर्फ path चाहिए तो include तक ही path copy किया है. So see after minus I /usr lib लेके आपका include slash. I'll show you on terminal also, at least आपको लिख के बताऊंगी. And then cal.c. That is your C file name. So again it is going to throw error. jni.h अगर आप खोल के देखोगे, it has a reference to jni_md.h. Again that path is not with GCC. So repeat the step. वापस से उसको locate करो. Pick the path, copy in GCC. Here I have again located jni_md.h. Same ही path पे है, just one directory ahead. You have to go down one directory. Include के अंदर Linux directory रहता है, and there your jni_md.h found. So copy that path and add it with your GCC. So see here, in GCC I have added both the paths. Again minus I separated path followed by your file. एंड देन आफ्टर आई एम गेटिंग एरर अनडिफाइंड रेफरेंस टू मेन, क्योंकि आपके सी प्रोग्राम में हमने मेन मेथड लिखा ही नहीं है. So to execute the create a executable, you have to put a main method. But हमारा प्रोग्राम executable नहीं है, it's a library, so no need of main method. So I have to change the extension of my output file. Compiler जो output देता है by default it is executable. Instead we want shared object. So here I have highlighted where you have to look up. So this pink ellipse is showing where I have made a changes in GCC, and look at the green color path, small green color area, rectangular box. So minus O with GCC is helping you to rename the output file. By default आपका GCC a.out में ही executable बनाता है. Instead of that, I want .so file. So for Linux system DLL फाइल का एक्सटेंशन .dll नहीं होता है, SO होता है. Windows पे .dll है जो हम नेक्स्ट लैब में देखेंगे. Right now you are creating for Linux, it is with .so file. So minus O .so. So आपने फाइल नेम दिया इधर lib calculator, but for my example I am giving only cal, so libcal will be okay .so. So अभी आप बोलोगे मैम आपने cal दिया है आपके एग्जाम्पल में. So my library name is cal, but when your JNI is calling, it is adding a prefix lib. जो भी आपका फाइल नेम है उसके आगे lib ऐड करता ही है. That's why I have to create so file with lib prefix. So libcal libcalculator.so file. So it totally depends on name that you are giving to it. Followed by space minus shared. Everyone has to pay attention on that green color rectangular box. Minus O is a output option. I'm renaming my output file with it with .so extension. Space minus shared. आपका जो shared object है, SO stand for shared object. So you should be shareable among other applications. So minus shared will do that job. Followed by cal.c. Cal.c is your C file name. And finally, you will be able to generate header file with it. Okay. So I have just added a while. If you remove that shared partner, still you will get the error. So rest of the half of this slide is showing that. But our final aim is use the shared, and you will get the SO. After creating SO file, if you put ls command on terminal, so you will be able to find SO files written in green color. Executable भी वो execution के time पे link होते हैं, that's why they are in green color. I have highlighted libcalc, libcalculator. I have created multiple, so 3 files are there. So आपको जो required one है वो create हो गई. Okay. And then last step is Java is you're calling giving a command to execute your Java application. So Java space your class name is enough to execute it. But we are fetching data from a library which is at some other path. अगर वो दोनों एक ही path पे है, no issues, no linking issues. But if they are at different path, आपको link देना पड़ेगा. So brown color rectangle में मैंने linking लिखा है. So brown rectangle is showing minus D Java. So minus D is a directory of Java dot library dot path equal to dot. So the meaning of it, library path we are setting with dot means current working directory. Minus D Java dot library dot path equal to dot means that dot represent current working directory जहाँ पे मेरा library created है. And then my class name. And see, after that I got the result of addition of two numbers. When I did it, if you notice, my Java program is having value given as A and B का value मैंने by default 10,20 दिया. That's why result is 30. Now we are fetching from user, so उसके according आपको result मिलेगा. आप जो दोगे उसके हिसाब से आपका addition print होना चाहिए. And that's it. हो गया आपका assignment. So this is for only addition. Once all this linking is done, आपको सिर्फ rest of the methods add करने हैं and repeat all these compilation steps. You will be able to execute all the functions one by one. So आपके सारे methods library में रहेंगे. You are calling them in a Java application and testing with it. So what I want to convey is so now here I have given a name cal, right? But while explaining I have given calculator, so it will go like this. बट जब आप सी फाइल में कंपाइल करके क्रिएट कर रहे हो तो कैलकुलेटर ये जो नाम है आपके JNI को पास होगा एंड JNI विल कॉल इट लाइक LIB calculator.s. That's why we are creating file in that way when we compile it with GCC. And on GCC what I was saying is here this was a second step of creating your header file, right? After that we have installed so here I can show GCC compilation. I don't know whether it is readable at your end or not, but try to understand. Your program name cal.c, this is normally enough. But when we give this, our JNI.h file error is there, so we have got the location and with minus I. So see what I am doing, GCC space minus I. Here I am writing the path USR LIB. जो भी आपका JDK version है, this path you cannot put abruptly. You have to search it on your machine using locate command. So JDK underscore 1.24 जो भी है, I'm randomly writing, followed by include. So this is the path for my JNI.h file. Similarly, I have to add the path for JNI underscore md.h. So path तो same ही रहेगा आपका. Okay. Path will remain same, just I have to add further information. So USR LIB slash J for 1.2.4 slash include slash. Expert in creating makefile, so that will be a great thing for you. And then you have to give here minus O lib calculator .so, this you will give, followed by minus shared option, followed by your cal.c file. In this way you have to write on your terminal of Linux. When you enter the key, you will get SO file. Here you will not get because my file is not there. And then after you have to give a call java minus d java dot library dot path. So this is helping you to give a direction to your Java virtual machine where to search a library. So dot represent, this dot I was talking, this dot represent current working directory, उसमें आपका library है, and then you can pass class name. So cal.jni was our class. When you hit the enter key, you will get the result. Right now it is not going to give because it's not going to find your library. So that's the reason. But if you follow all these steps carefully as it is given in my slides, definitely you will be able to do this. Okay. So everyone is informed. Today only I am going to put it in your teams, and your job is follow all these steps one by one, right from the slide number. Let me tell you. I have added additional slides here. So last slide number 31 onwards is your required stuff. Meanwhile, I have added errors. Means purposefully मैंने यहाँ पे native method का path नहीं दिया है. So you will get the error. So what will be the error? Next slide पे. Then what edit you have to do? Prototype add करना है. Error will be removed. Likewise, you go step by step. Error आया उसके लिए solution next slide पे मिल रहा है आपको. So go through all these steps and try to complete this part by today, so that next session we will be able to finish this assignment completely with menu driven and all 8 to 10 operations. Once it is done now, it's hardly a 15 minutes job to complete this assignment. But यहाँ तक सबको पहुँचना. So quickly let me know how many of you are having Linux system और ड्यूअल बुक मशीन देखिए कितने लोगों के पास है लिनक्स फेडोरा और उबंटू जो भी है रेज योर हैंड्स वन टू those who are having Linux machine please raise your hands only 3 students what about the rest of the 54 people okay so those who are having Linux system you have to start it by today whatever I have given the steps will work for you and if you face any trouble let me know the queries along with the screenshot जो भी problem आया है just put it with it on my WhatsApp group rest of the students you have to start exploring same thing can be done on your Windows machine also so let me give you the link it is open in my let me search those who are working on Windows system you have to do some installations so I'll tell you what you have to do